One aspect of other safety that goes beyond just driving safety that an ADS will need to deal with in an autonomous vehicle is the safety of operations and human interactions. If you think about it, human drivers do more than just drive. They're responsible for ensuring safe occupant behavior, for passenger safety, for detecting and managing equipment faults, and so on. Here's a picture of a cute kid in a car seat. Well, the kid's in the car seat but not buckled in. So if the ADS is the only thing in charge of safety for the system, the ADS should realize that it's not safe to operate because the child's not buckled in. In the real world, you might want additional rules such as no children under a certain age can ride in a vehicle unaccompanied by an adult. But the point is, we're not talking about driving safety at all. We're talking about different aspects of passenger safety that if you have a fully autonomous vehicle with no qualified driver, you need to have a plan to, for example, keep some parent from sticking their kid into a robotaxi and sending them off to daycare with nobody accompanying them. There are also operational limits in situations that need to be understood. If the system exits the operational design domain, the ADS needs to understand that, even though some of the aspects of the operational design domain might be quite subtle. What if there's a vehicle fire or a catastrophic failure? What if there's a main battery fire? How does the vehicle detect that and do the right thing, which might include waking up sleeping passengers or arranging for the extrication of drunk passengers who may be passed out in the back seat, but now they need to leave the vehicle because there's a battery fire? In a human-operated taxi, there's a taxi driver who can take care of such things. But in a completely autonomous vehicle, there's just the passenger. That passenger becomes incapacitated. How do you get them out of the vehicle? There's also the matter of post-crash response. All these things can be figured out, and they might well involve remote services helping the vehicle deal with the situation. But the point here is, to be a fully autonomous vehicle, you have to have a plan to make all this happen without a remote operator babysitting the vehicle continuously to keep an eye on things. If a vehicle is to be truly autonomous, it can't have a continuous human babysitter. It needs to figure out when something has happened that requires attention and invoke the attention, just as a human operator would try and fix anything they could and then dial the local emergency number, such as 911 in the US, to get help if they can't. Sure, dialing the number is easy for a car, but recognizing that it's time to dial the emergency number is the tricky bit. Automated vehicles will also need to interact with non-drivers. Pedestrians, potential passengers, especially for robotaxi. How do you know you're not going to take off when a potential passenger has their hand grabbing the door trying to open it? Interaction with police, emergency responders, and so on. All these tasks are directly relevant to safety, but may fall a little bit outside what would normally be considered just driving safely. Another way to put this is that a human vehicle driver is not just the driver of the vehicle. They're sort of the captain of the ship. They're responsible for everything. And when you take the human driver out, the question is, who ends up being the captain of the ship to deal with whatever it is that happens, whether it's something that was designed into the automated driving system or not?